the phone that rang from an empty house. Some calls don't just connect two people. Sometimes they connect you to your deepest fears and your forgotten past. This is my story, and I wish I could say it's easy to tell, but it's not. I live alone. My life is simple. Work, eat, sleep, repeat. Most nights I sit by the window scrolling my phone, waiting for messages that never come. My parents and I aren't close anymore. My sister barely calls. Sometimes I wonder if anyone would notice if I disappeared. That thought used to scare me. Now it just feels normal. But everything changed one Tuesday night, when my phone rang. I looked at the screen, and my heart skipped a beat. The caller ID said, "Home." Not mom and dad, not a friend, not a colleague, just home. That's what I used to call the landline of our old family house, the one we sold 5 years ago, the one I swore I would never go back to. I froze. My chest felt tight. I thought maybe it was a mistake. Maybe someone else had the number now. But deep down I knew. This wasn't just a random call. When I answered, all I heard was silence. Then the faint creak of an old ceiling fan, the same one I used to stare at on sleepless nights when I was a kid. And then, a whisper, so soft it barely existed. "Why don't you ever come back?" The line went dead. I sat there in the dark, phone still in my hand, my whole body shaking. I wanted to believe it was a prank, but my gut told me otherwise. The next night, the call came again, and this time I heard a voice. It sounded like my mother, but not quite. Softer, distant, like she was calling from another world. "Son," she said, "the house is empty, but we're waiting for you." I almost dropped the phone. My real mother was alive, hundreds of miles away. She wasn't the one calling me. Every night after that, the calls continued. Sometimes laughter, sometimes breathing, sometimes just silence that felt heavier than words. I tried to ignore them, but each call clawed at me, reminding me of everything I had run away from. The arguments, the slammed doors, the way our family fell apart inside those walls. By Friday, I couldn't take it anymore. I got in my car and drove back. When I arrived, I almost didn't recognize it. The walls were cracked, the garden wild, the windows broken. It looked dead, like it had been waiting for me to see it this way. And then, the front door creaked open, by itself. I stepped inside. The air was heavy, stale. It smelled like dust and memories. My footsteps echoed as I walked through the living room. The ceiling fan still hung there, frozen in time. And then, my phone buzzed in my pocket. The same caller ID. Home! But this time, the phone was ringing from inside the house. My stomach dropped. The sound wasn't coming from my phone speaker. It was echoing from the old landline sitting on the dusty table. I picked it up with trembling hands, and before I could say a word, the voice spoke again. "Son, you left us here. Why did you leave us alone?" My throat went dry. "Who are you?" I whispered. My voice cracked like I was 12 years old again. The line hissed, and then came the laughter, low, broken, and filled with something I can't explain. The ground beneath me felt unstable. I wanted to run, but my feet wouldn't move. Then, from the corner of the room, I heard another sound. A slow, dragging step. The kind of sound that belongs to someone who hasn't walked in years. My eyes darted toward the hallway, and I swear, for just a second, I saw her. My mother. Not as she is today, but as she looked when I was a child. Standing there, staring at me with eyes that weren't hers anymore. I dropped the phone. It shattered on the floor, but the voice kept echoing through the house. "Don't leave us again. This is still your home." I ran, out the door, into my car, and didn't stop driving until the city lights swallowed the night. When I finally made it back to my apartment, I collapsed on the floor, gasping for air. My phone, my real phone, was still in my pocket, untouched. But when I pulled it out, there it was. 77 missed calls, all from home, and one new message. We're still waiting.